Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Rob Bear, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Wyatt Turk. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here. Yo, what's up?
So this is we're not going to be here next week. What are you guys doing next week?
I've got an appointment in Las Vegas with with some hot dice rolling.
Hot. You're gonna roll hot. You getting ready to roll hot?
Mm-hmm. And we got the Long War doubles at LVO. We're almost there. We've got, I think the tokens have been generated. Public service announcement. If you're going to the LVO and you're playing Long War doubles, you should have gotten your emails and you should have gotten your events. Should have sorted itself out in BCP. Understand that the event, there's a link in that event that takes you to the link tree that has all your player packet information. We're mostly a paperless event, though we have hobby scores and there will be some scoring cards for like sponsorship round by round and stuff like that. But mostly all that information is going to be in that link tree. We'll have QR codes on the day. It'll be on Sunday. Be there early because we're a man down. We don't have Wyatt with us. We don't have Demeki with us, who came last year. We do have Matt, and luckily the financial guru and CFO, Arthur, stepped up and he can make it. So we actually have, that's a huge deal. So we're also always calling on volunteers for paint judging on day one. So Sunday in the morning, anybody who, follows our brand, is a paint enthusiast who wants to come take a look at the rubric and help us get people judged upon registration, be greatly appreciated. I will indeed be thankful and grateful forever if you show up. End of public service announcement.
No, we got dice to sell.
That's not a public service announcement. That is an advertisement.
and now for our dice advertisement. That's
right. We got our new Baron of Dice special matte square dice available. This is big news. This actually happened during the After Hours show. Rob took a special phone call, made it happen. The links will be distributed. You'll see them everywhere. You'll see them in the description of this podcast. If you're listening to this on your way to work, I want you to safely pull over. Even if maybe you're like in the mountains and it's like a runaway truck ramp, I want you to just pull off gently into the runaway truck ramp, pull out your phone, check the link, get these dice. It's only 25 sets, 50 sets?
No, I think they're $25.
$25. Infinite sets?
We have 50 sets. Whatever doesn't sell online is going to go to LVO so people can buy them at LVO, at the doubles, etc.
Damn, I got to sell things too?
No, I mean, they're going to be at the Baron of Dice booth.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
So you can just be like, go over there.
Go to the booth. I was like, go
to the booth.
I cannot take it. I cannot take payment. I am not equipped to do that.
It's too much.
Makes sense. So this is,
no, you're good.
This is big news. It's big news. So tonight we're going to talk about LVO predictions, as we're not going to be on the air next week because LVO. I won't be here. There's going to be a lot of action on the scene. Rob's got his reporting staff down there. We got that GW preview, all this stuff. So it's also the biggest singles event in the history of mankind. And we say that every year because why? Why do we say that every year?
Because it is?
Because every year they change what that number means.
What do you mean?
It goes up higher.
Oh, yeah. They break their own record.
Generally. They break their own record every year.
Yeah.
So it's the LVO is the ITC season conclusion. So that's the last time they get the big points. Someone's going to be the ITC champion. Someone's going to be the LVO champion, and a lot of times it's the same person. So
and various faction champions on down.
Mm-hmm. I myself am going to be there and playing a janky ass army that I have only play tested on TTS for 3 turns of one game.
But at least you tried.
Yeah, this will be my official first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth game of 10th edition 40K.
Oof. I think I played I think I played 6 games last week.
Yeah, you did.
Over Christmas break, rather.
So in normal Kenny fashion, I'm rolling thick with 5 Demon Princes to LVO. For some reason, I find myself doing that a lot over the years.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know why. Can't stop it.
History repeats itself, I say.
Hopefully. But anyway, that's the preamble. We've got Wyatt chilling, ready to do a special Peabody award-winning segment. We're going to roll out to Wyatt's Cave of Wonders and touch nothing but the lamp.
Would you rather save the world and no one knows you did it, but you get paid $10 million, or everyone knows you did it, but you get paid nothing?
Oh, I don't want people to know. Hell no.
Wait, no one knows I did it, but I get 10 mil and the world is saved in both scenarios?
Yeah.
10 million.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could just be like, you just saved the world and nobody knows you did it. And I'm like, okay, cool.
I don't need the credit. I just need the money, dude.
I mean, I'll take money too, but like, I don't necessarily like, I feel like.
I definitely thought Kenny would latch on to the second one.
Yeah.
I'm retired if I have $10 million, dude. Like, I don't need the acclaim. I don't need the marketing.
Yeah, you get to retire, and there's a world to retire in.
It's possible that I'll make vastly more than $10 million if everyone knows. Unless the genie bans me from self-marketing and self-promotion and influencing and stuff. If it's, you get paid nothing, meaning like no one can ever give me money and have the knowledge of me being the guy who saved the world be a factor in it. Or would he let me use that information to figure out how to finance myself?
That's where I thought you would go with it.
Like, but I bet if I'm allowed to do that, I definitely can make more than 10 mil. No doubt. No doubt.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm 40, dude. 10 mil, I'm done. Cashed out. Why do I need to hustle that hard, man?
It's true.
I mean, you would get a lot of attention from ladies.
It's hard to be hungry when you're fed, though, Kenny. It's hard to be hungry when you're fed. Just remember that.
It's hard to get up at 5 a.m. and run 5 miles in silk boxers.
No. I'm just saying, if hard work equaled success and lots of money in the bank, why doesn't everybody have success and lots of money in the bank? It's just, hard work isn't the key to that. There's a lot more to it, but anyways. So yeah, you'd have an advantage.
Yeah, I'm just taking the 10 mil and cash out.
No, I would too. I mean, I wouldn't do that as a prerequisite to save the world, but I wouldn't necessarily want the recognition, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I can see where if I was already rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I already had everything financially, right? Mm-hmm. If I was like, nah, everything's fine, my retirement's secure, which it is not.
Right.
Nothing. I don't have a 401k, nothing. If my shit was set up, like I got my pension squared away, everything's looking good, I'm golden, then the only thing I can't buy with money is fucking like is acclaim, is attention, is validation. It's the only thing money can't buy by its definition. Like, so I can see where in that situation I would take option B.
I feel you.
That's honestly, instant no, my choice, but I can see where this could get you thinking. Like if you had 2 people on the podcast, one was like filthy rich, retired, not even filthy rich, fully retired, everything's great, no issues forever, like two houses, you know what I mean? Like someone in that camp, very content in life. Everything's great. 60 years old. And me or Rob, you would have 2 answers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What would Jesus do? God damn it, that's amazing, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's on it tonight. That's like a perfect response. What would Jesus do? Would he take the 10 million and nobody would know? Or would he take everyone, showers them with acclaim? I love that. It's the greatest.
Man. Well, yeah, what would I think we always when we say what would Jesus do? I think our idea of what Jesus would do is based on the historical, right? Like us
honestly, he would
him.
probably take the fame so that he could proselytize
Right, exactly. So like
to the world of like, I saved the world. You're welcome.
Right.
And also, have you heard of my dad?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
wouldn't be
Like,
here if it weren't for the
Jesus himself would become the greatest televangelist, like fucking Christian, like TV personality of all time.
I feel like boots on the ground Jesus would be completely different to what we think of as Jesus.
Obvious.
You know what I mean?
But in this Would You Rather, he has to come to the Jin's rules and he has to pick one of these. So,
so here's something that might upset Christians. When you think about it, Jesus probably really stinky. Probably smelled like shit, like all the time.
Well, I think everybody.
You don't think he used his magic to clean himself every now and then?
There's zero mention of him using magic for hygiene in the Bible, dude.
What about dude
He uses
wipes?
it to get drunk.
Yeah. Made a lot of fish, also stinky. Made a lot of wine with the wine sweats, kind of stinky.
Yeah, but it wasn't real wine. It wasn't the wine that. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Look, that's an amazing one, Jeffrey. Thank you. I advocate for inserting what would Jesus do into more Would You Rathers. There's a new subgenre of Would You Rathers. Like, think about every Would You Rather we've done. Bite a fucking chicken every time you get in a car, or a fucking death match with a chimpanzee. What would Jesus do? Go.
Jeez.
Look. Anyway, thank you, Wyatt. Rob, you want to do some news?
Yeah, we can do some news. We got a few things to talk about. So, release wise, GW's putting out some Age of Sigmar releases, and I think in the after hours before I got the phone call about the dice, the Long War dice limited edition, what do we call it, winter edition, going live. I was kind of trying to make a thought about. I think a lot of folks may have forgotten that Sigmar is probably getting a new edition update this summer, right? So we're seeing this last batch of releases here, and remember the Flesh Eater Courts single releases haven't even come out yet. So we got all that stuff still technically on deck. Going into the summer, we'll probably see a new edition of Sigmar, which I think in a lot of cases also that we were talking about in the pregame with Wyatt and stuff, with the factions that GW came out a couple of days ago and they're like, hey, we're not going to support these factions. They also said that back in May. This isn't like kind of a, hey, got you guys, as much as I like to address these things when they do them. They actually told us the same information back in May. But I think those factions are the ones that sell the most in Age of Sigmar. So it's almost like they're kind of trying to protect the sales of the different two lines there. That being said, now they're coming out with the separate releases for the stuff that was in the Dawnbringer boxes. These were the very first releases in October.
Every time Rob say that, do you hear the Dongbringer box?
That's what I was
okay.
The Dawnbringer?
Dongbringers.
Dongbringers?
Continue, Rob. Don't even worry about it.
The Dawnbringer books back in October. These were the very first releases that were on that whole 2-week cycle. Hey, you got to fill out this Google sheet, this Google form, and tell us your want numbers and all that. And game stores were like, wait, what? These were the first releases. These were pretty allocated. And if you can still find those boxes, those Dongbringer release boxes, then those are solid deals, because the Trogoth King at $100 for the mini, or the Sylvanus dude that's riding the little cricket cicada thing for 110, or the Ionis Cribborn that looks like a chaplain on a dragon, looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, that guy's the most
$130.
metal miniature of all time. I guess outside of this new Dread Knight you just got, that's physically the most metal miniature of all time.
It's literally a metal miniature. That thing is wild. So that's what the releases are this week. There's still a lot of stuff out there. You know, we might see the new Dark Angels teased for on Sunday, which would be pretty cool. to see that box coming out, because its release would actually be, what would that be? The 27th? Is there a fourth weekend? That would be the 27th. So whatever goes on, whatever gets teased this Sunday will be a street date of the 27th, which will be still in January. Could be some more filler releases. It's really kind of hard to say at this point. Either way, we'll definitely see something that is out there, I guess, at this point. We're going to talk about the Necron FAQ a little bit, I think, in the next segment here. But I did want to talk about the media report for Games Workshop, but we'll kind of get to that last, because there's a whole lot of cans of worms in there that I think it's worth kind of going over a little bit closer, perhaps. For Warhammer Old World, which actually doesn't come out till the 20th, which will be next weekend, there is a lot of accessories out there. Like if you're kind of in the boat where you got to rebase your stuff, or you're looking for some movement trays, there's a lot of options out there. There's a company, I think we talked about it last week, that has bases over in the UK, that has spots for magnets in them. Elric's Hobbies has all sorts of crazy stuff. They've got bases. They've got base converters if you don't want to rebase your minis. They've got movement trays. They've got converter movement trays. So you just put your existing dudes into the movement trays and they're good to go. Dragon's Forge has a lot of the same stuff as well. So, and there's all sorts of interesting things you can find on Etsy as well. But I think if you're looking for solutions for hobbying on Old World, I think that's a good indicator of interest, to be quite honest with you, because I don't feel like we saw this much interest in Horus Heresy, the reboot in 2022. I don't think we saw this much interest in Legion Imperialis, which just came out. There definitely wasn't that many accessories out there offered on the third party market. So it's a really good precedent, I think, to see this many options for things out there to help support this game. So to me, it kind of seems like there's a lot of demand out there for Old World.
Yeah, do you think it's going to be hype?
I mean, you're getting into it, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. I don't know if it's for everybody. I mean, unless you just want to kind of collect it and you're like, oh, I used to play that. I'm going to pick up the Necrosphinx because it's only $70. You know, that's dope. I think if you have a good pocket of hobbyists in your area that are going to all start it up at the same time, you might want to think about it. Like that just seems like the way to go. But I don't think every market is gonna have that, sadly, but it is what it is. Getting a little bit away from LVO, Adepticon tickets and events all went up on sale last Sunday. And for the most part, I think all the 40K stuff is sold out. The Long War Doubles is sold out. There's a wait list that I think is sold out for completely full. If you didn't, we've been getting a lot of emails about it. If you didn't get on the wait list, the best thing to do is just show up the day of the event on Friday and be ready to play. I wouldn't make a special trip, but I think generally if you're going to be there, come on down. You might have to hang out for a few minutes, but we will try to work as many people in as we can. And I think generally, I don't think we've turned anybody away, have we, Kenny?
Never happened.
Yeah, I think everybody that showed up and paid the tournament fee has gotten in.
Yep. Never not happened.
But don't make a special trip. Don't buy a plane ticket from like Europe just to come to play in the Long War Doubles, because that would be the one time that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I would also tell you that that's just not smart. There's more action.
Yeah. But I do not want that on my conscience.
Don't advocate for that.
Yes. But if you are there and you have your armies and you have a buddy and you want to play in the event Friday morning, like 9 o'clock.
I've got a buddy.
Show up. You do? Yeah.
You're my buddy.
Play in the event? Aw. Can I have that Circle K cup?
Tried it yet? That? No, man, that's my coffee cup. It's for my sip and save. That's my sip and save.
Your sip and save. They got Circle Ks in Europe. Did you know that?
Obviously, it's the most prestigious gas station organization on the planet.
Stop.
I tried to explain to my dad and my mom the other day what the My Buddy Survival Backpack was.
Oh man.
Remember when we hatched that? And then
Yep. Just bring up Empire Strikes Back. Everybody's seen that.
you want to talk about the Necron FAQ, Rob?
Yes, we could. Oh no, wait. I want to do a little bit about the GW mid-year financials real quick. I want to end on that. So Games Workshop's mid-year financial report came out, and this one was, man, there was a roller coaster reading this thing. I got to tell you what, if you haven't read it yet, it's really long, but it's definitely worth looking at. No, nothing. Okay.
I mean, did you want me to say like your dick? Like that's what I was thinking, but I was like, I've already thrown a lot of dick jokes out this podcast.
Yeah, I guess we're kind of at capacity.
Nice.
So there was a lot of stuff in there, and it almost, to me, being a tinfoilologist, I suppose, it almost seemed like they went out of their way in this thing to address a lot of rumors out there about different topics. Like they really seem to go out of their way to explain how working with different licensing partners is tough for them because they have to have absolute control of their IP because their IP is what sells their minis. And they really went out of their way to elaborate on this thing. And I felt like it was kind of talking indirectly about what happened with the Amazon licensing deal for shows and movies and things. You know, there was that rumor that somebody at GW got carried away and they just kind of like laissez-faire kind of agreed to some stuff with Amazon, and then there was some feel badsies, and then they had to walk it back, and then they figured it out and they signed this tentative deal to figure out how to best represent the IP over the next year, and maybe something will happen. And I think that was kind of them trying to explain that in a roundabout way. So I think it gives more legitimacy to the rumors that they didn't really think that one through so well. And it was really just weird to kind of read it, how they went about it with that. But that's just my take. Read it for yourself. They also announced that their CFO is stepping down. So again, more talent, more folks that have been there that know the inner workings are leaving. And it's just not a good look when you see these high level people stepping down and like, hey, it's time to move on, or you know, what have you. Me as a consumer and perhaps an investor would be very cautious when I see the head of the art studio leaving, multiple artists that have shaped multiple editions of artwork and codex books leaving all in the same year. And now the CFO stepping down. She's going to stay there, you know, through September or whatever, as they search for a replacement. But, you know, and obviously they did a great job, you know, through all these years and through all the tenures and things. But I feel like when you start seeing these influencers and things and all of these things happening, it's kind of a tell to me. And it's going to be really interesting over the next year, kind of where we go with this. Licensing revenue was down, but pretty much everything else was up. And it really was just in that run from like 10th edition to October, because from October to kind of now, it seemed everything kind of seems to be in flux with sales and fulfillment. I think everybody has seen it out there. They changed their policies in October of how stores were ordering, and it's challenging, I guess would be the best word right now, whether you're a consumer trying to find this stuff or a game store trying to actually get enough stuff to stock your shelves or not get stuck with stuff you don't think is going to sell. Read through the whole thing yourself. There's a lot of different things in there. They also kind of alluded to that, oh man, you know, maybe we should build another factory so we can like produce more stuff.
Dumpster Wars Part 2? Dumpster Wars Season 2?
Well, you know, and I think a lot of cases the dumpster wars thing came because of them forecasting so high from the COVID bubble, I think that was just an anomaly from the catch up of forecasting, right? Because you just don't see that anymore. They throttled back, and now we're in the opposite. We're where they're just producing enough to get by, still have money in the bank to support the company for 3 months is another thing they said, and also pay off, these dividends and these bonuses to all their staff. They also thanked their staff many times, and they thanked people for being patient with their warehouse snafus and things. I would like to point out, because there might be some newer folks, hobbyists listening to the show, or existing folks that might have forgot. Like I brought up a name earlier, and people were like, "Oh, I remember that dude." The Games Workshop used to have a factory in America, y'all. Like they used to actually make shit here. And in 2013, they decided they counted their beans, and they're like, you know what? We're going to take all this machinery out of here, and we're going to ship it back to England. And we're just going to run an extra shift in England, and we're going to make, air quotes, all of this stuff here. And obviously they import components and sometimes whole kits from China and distribute it. But for the most part, all of their manufacturing, air quotes, is in England now. So they turned Memphis, Tennessee into basically a distribution hub for North America. So yeah, maybe they should have another factory, because when you have more capacity to make things, like it all comes down to your forecasting, and that's why dumpster wars happen. But if your forecasting is, dang, if we made a little bit more, we would sell out. Like, then yeah, make a little bit more. And if you need to make some stuff in America, or you make some stuff in England, or perhaps put a factory in Australia. I don't know. They said they're expanding and getting a bigger warehouse in Australia, whatever, to potentially store more things earlier. I don't know. I just think that they're kind of in this. They had this stuff, and now they don't have the stuff, and now they're like, maybe we need this thing again. Maybe sometimes the grass is greener. And I feel like even though they say all these things they're like, hey, we're not in it for, we're in it for the long haul. We're not in it for the short haul. When you make moves like that, it just doesn't feel like you're in it for the long haul. And that's all I want to say about that. So read it for yourself. It's a pretty interesting read overall. I've never heard them say, hey, we're sorry. I never heard them say, hey, we're going to build more factories because we're not making enough shit. And definitely, you can count on your hand the last time you've seen high level people step down from Games Workshop, and that all happened all in this midterm report. So it was a pretty interesting one, to say the very least.
Good coverage, Rob. So what's new in the FAQ? Rob, I don't know. What's new in the FAQ?
You don't know the Necron FAQ?
Yeah, they nerfed all the Necrons, and now they don't exist as a faction. It was a personal attack against all Necron players. Basically, you're going to want to return. You're going to want to post on Frontline Games website and auction out your tickets, because you can't play.
Just can't play. Unplayable.
Too bad.
If it sounds like I'm bullying the Necron community, I am.
I am. I mean, to be fair to the Necron players, it's been a roller coaster too. There's been one play style that was prevalent. It got changed in September.
Their place, remember, they've sucked dick for a long time. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then they got good again, but not because they got good, but because of the mission and the season we were in and the way secondaries worked made them artificially good. So that made it so there was like basically only one way to play it. And it felt good for a short amount of time for Necron players. I'm sure that they can get dubs again, but that was a short-lived high, right? Because it's not really, your army didn't get buffed. It's just, you play the game a little differently, and then you have more points, but you never felt like you actually won in general.
Right.
So they've had a interesting 10th edition run. The codex looked real strong, and then a predominant combo a stratagem is why it told me before. Its qualifier got changed. Instead of all Necron units, it got changed to Kinetic and something else.
Just the Cryptex.
Cryptech and Kinetic, right? So like so they put
it's still good for race.
They put a qualifier on a stratagem that made the more popular units like the Immortals that were like unable to access it now.
Yeah, there's like a big max unit of Immortals with character support and like all the juice pumping out like 1 billion shots with devastating wounds.
Yeah. So, I did spend some time bullying the Necron community earlier, but I don't want to take away anyone's, like, everyone's worst day is their worst day, period. And if you spend a bunch of time and play testing and painting and put all your heart and soul into something, then a day before cutoff to your first major, the thing that you put all that effort into change that dramatically, that can be your worst day 100%. Like, and that would suck. I would also encourage people to always have perspective. Now, perspective isn't everything because balance is the most important thing still. So, like, perspective is not, how bad somebody else has it. That's not usable perspective. Like, oh, you're complaining because your Immortals can't use this one stratagem? Well, I'm a blah, 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 and my blah, blah. No, that's not what we're talking about, right? Like, that's not usable. Perspective is, that effort you put into that hobby can never be taken from you. That joy you experience in project completion is still your joy. Those hours you invested, well spent.
It's cheap. It's cheap as far as hobbies go.
So that's a perspective that can help you have balance in how bad you feel and betrayed at this moment, right? Because it's really just a moment of timing. If this was after the event, you wouldn't feel nearly the same way, right? Like, so perspective and balance are important in multiple ways. But I do empathize with anybody out there who did all that work and now their favorite little combo got busted. But maybe use this as inspiration to put in you have another week. Let's go. Right? Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's not the end all beat all. There's lots of other combos in Necron Codex, as Wyatt mentioned earlier, said Satan or borderline toxic, I believe, as he likes to refer them to. Right?
I would say they're big bullies, big meanies.
Yeah, they're nasty. It's kind of a dice swing sort of a thing because like a 4-up is, as you used to call it, the most infuriating save in all 40K. So you can have games where like a Satan can just like not roll any 4-ups and then just die. But you also have games where that Satan is just like, I will never die to anything. I cannot fail a save. Get fucked.
So if Kenny's playing it, it never dies. And he looks you in the eye as he rolls them all.
Yeah. But it's a combo of things. So it's 4-up invul save, also a 5-up feel no pain, also a half all incoming damage. They're at T11, so that's a hard breakpoint because most infantry are going to be on 5s, 6s to wound them, even with like bonuses to wound. Not a whole lot of like big hefty strength 11 higher melee units,
which is a lot of wound on 3 to 4,
right? Usually those types of units don't have a ton of attacks, so they're limited in their attack number because they have the high toughness and the high damage, or the high strength and the high damage. So yeah, it can be really infuriating, especially if your opponent has multiples of them. And I think the Nightbringer is like 255. They're all about like in that points range, like around 250, 260 somewhere.
Not bad.
So it's like, they're like, damn, these are.
Yeah, their only drawback is their movement is it's not.
Yeah,
like,
but if you run, what is it called, hyperphase et cetera, et cetera. I forget the name. They can like teleport all over the place.
movement shenanigans. So
Yeah.
So that might be my next Demon Prince spam list. Might be a Satan spam list. I'm looking at it. So
Do it.
But yeah, so that's what's new in the FAQ this week, right before Adepticon. So let's take a quick break here from our commercial sponsors, including Baron of Dice. Anybody listening to this right now, Long War Dice, available online. Check the links in the bio.
For the best game aids and peripheral tools for wargaming, check out our friend J15games.com. From wound counters and dials to faction rule trackers, these are the coolest tools out there. Designed to be functional and intuitive, these tools help you stay organized and speed up your game. Their flagship product, the Nesting, Movement, and Combat tool, is absolutely amazing. A magnetized measuring widget that splits into 3 different size tools for every situation. And you can get it in 8 different colors. J15 also offers custom ordered dice trays made from hardwood and leather. Check them out at j15games.com. That's j15games.com.
baronofdice.com, the official dice sponsor of the Long War podcast. Use promo code LONGWAR5 for 5% off. If you're looking for a superior dice manufacturer, then look no further than Baron of Dice. Custom artwork, faction representation, and crisp razor edge square dice. Remember to use promo code LONGWAR5. Again, that's baronofdice.com, the official dice sponsor of this podcast. And we're back. So, LVO, next week, down to the day. Give me some predictions, Wyatt. He's thinking. He's muted. He's thinking and he's muted.
I was thinking really hard. Predictions for LVO. Okay, I predict.
Are we talking preview?
Oh, okay. Let me define it. Okay,
Yeah,
we need to
parameters?
predict the top 3 faction. I want that from you, Wyatt. I want you to predict.
All right.
Your number. Who's going to win the event?
Who's gonna win? Okay.
And Rob, I want you to predict what the preview is. So let's start with top 3 factions from Wyatt. And why?
Top 3 factions in no particular order. Chaos Space Marines. Orcs. I predict Orcs. I have a good feeling about Orcs. And I'm going to go with I'm going to go with like Eldari.
So we're going with two obvious choices.
Yeah.
Chaos and Eldari. They have been on a upward trajectory since launch.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of flipping top position back and forth. And Orcs, because Orcs have been getting some popularity and some steam lately.
They do. And I mean, like, nothing in Orcs is like super crazy broken or anything like that. It's just that, like, if you build the army the right way and you're smart about it, they play to the format of this game exceptionally well. Like, they score really good. They hold objectives really good. You know, like they're great at trading units for objectives and units for points and that sort of thing. So maybe not the best, right? Like, they've picked up a handful of tournaments here and there, but like, that's my wild card. So Orcs.
I like that. Solid wild. Oh yeah, that's not your wild card. That's your top 3. Give me a wild card.
Give me a wild card. Inari.
Nice. Now, kick it to Rob. Give me a preview. What's going to be the biggest fucking surprise of this preview?
Surprise? Maybe what they end up doing with like the Tau, like, is the Tau release going to be Sept centric, or is it going to be Kroot? Because I think a lot of people like them some Kroots, and one of the silhouette images was what looked like, you know, the old Narlock riders.
Krootok.
Yeah, and Krootox maybe is a what was it, Rumor Engine, where you saw the kind of a similar newly reworked gun that we saw on the crew talks, or even the normal crew.
So you think the crew are going to get a codex, or do you think they're going to get rules or data sheets? Or
well, so you got Dark Angels, Orcs, Custodes, and Tau supposedly coming in spring. Oh, and Chaos Space Marines. We haven't seen anything for Chaos Space Marines yet. So that would be a big surprise if we saw something for Chaos Space Marines, like a new model, the box sets or something. Supposedly there's going to be on that box of Dark Angels for the new Terminator box. You see Terminator Lord with like some fur and like a thunder hammer and shit. And we haven't seen that dude. Obviously doesn't exist. They don't like doing art if they don't have a model coming for it. We saw it with, so many things, the Dorn tank, just pick one. So that would be cool to see.
What's your gut telling you though? Like what's your gut telling you?
We'll probably see something for Orcs, Custodes, Tau, and Chaos. They said there'd be big news for Sigmar. We know there's probably an edition change on the horizon. So maybe some in-between stuff from now until then.
Do you have a gut feeling on what the big, because they're going to say these things, like you have a good idea of like what the previews will be about, but they always seem to have like a mic drop.
Oh, just like something. I mean,
like the mic drop will be within one of those subjects you brought up. Do you have any?
Yeah. Maybe whatever the Custody dude's gonna end up being, because he looks kind of Spartan-y.
Custodes isn't like hype enough. Like a fucking regular 32 millimeter.
Like
dude.
I'm talking like when they showed us like a piece of Abaddon that one time. Remember?
Yeah.
Like
so my prediction is that it could be something for Old Worlds like Cathay.
There was, I don't think there was an Old World component. Let me go look at what they said was coming.
Oh, are they not even going to include it? Maybe they're keeping it a secret. Who knows?
I think it's just they got a Heresy, they had a Sigmar. Let me take a look.
What's the order? So we got Dark Angels and Orcs next, right?
Dark Angels, Orcs, Tau, and Custodes are all on deck for winter.
Man, I don't really see any one model from any of those factions being like a huge thing.
Kill Team, Horus Heresy, Warcry, Sigmar.
I can't believe they're still making stuff for Warcry. It's so dumb.
Well, I mean, it's my whole theory.
He's
it's
like,
retention.
it is dumb.
Warcry is the retention for Sigmar. If you're into Warcry, you only need to buy a box every month or quarter. People are content with that. Same with Kill Team. I think it's just retention for them. I could be wrong though, but I mean I don't see people playing Kill Team. I don't see people playing Warcry.
Crew Mercenary
Codex,
Rob. You think they're gonna do it?
There is, but I mean, there's a big Titanicus scene at conventions too. I mean, it's all relative.
It's not like the one thing they do once a year at Adepticon for Titanicus. It's like every FLG event has a huge Kill Team tournament.
Sure. But what
are you guys trying to figure out?
Do you walk in? How many game stores do you walk in and see games of Kill Team being played or Kill Team leagues?
I mean, I only have the one store I go to. They play it there, so
what?
That's pretty anecdotal, though.
Again, what are you guys trying to sort out? Like,
I don't know.
I would say it's more popular.
What is going to be the hype reveal at LVO? That's what you guys are trying to figure out. Not going to be Kill Team.
It's not going to be Kill Team. I would just say we just don't have any precedent. Like,
what's your wild card?
I'm going to be honest with you.
My wild card is Cathay, like Jade Dragon.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that the Tau stuff's the Tau recruit, whatever it is going to be the show stealer.
Oh, I mean, a plastic Narlock that could be like a big set piece model that could be hype, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with that. Crew have a prestigious history in this hobby, so that would be interesting.
Love them or hate them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's flip it back to Wyatt. So we've got who you think that the top factions are going to be for the competitive side of things. Give me. Okay, so like, who you think is going to win it, who you hope is going to win it, and.
I mean, let me see if I can even find let me see if the roster is up. Or I guess I could just look at like.
I think they usually keep them under wraps.
Where's like the see like who's the god damn it. Trying to find like the 40k elo site.
Stat check.
Here we go. Global elo. See who's like up there. Just because I'm like super bad with names.
Yeah, they've got the roster up there right now. I'm looking at it right now.
I forgot that the roster's in like alphabetical order too. So
It is,
okay. Here we go.
but you can search names.
Who do I think win it? I mean, it's a tie between like John Lennon, Brad Chester. I think those guys have a good chance. I don't even know if Brad's going, but
I'll look right
I'm
now.
just looking at like, yeah. I don't know who's going to be coming in from overseas. I had heard, I don't know how accurate this is, but I had heard from somebody that like a lot of the UK guys like aren't attending this year. So I'm not sure if like any of the UK heavy hitters is going to show up.
Yeah, I don't see Brad Chester in it.
He's not going.
Was that because he's already got it on lock or what?
Well, I mean, you can't win LVO if you don't show up to LVO, Rob.
I mean, ITC champion.
Yeah.
I don't know what the ITC rankings is right now.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you were to look at like the top 15 global elo players and one of those guys won LVO, unsurprised. As far as who I would want to win, obviously I want one of my guys on the team to win. I think a number of them have a great chance to win, like Arthur too. You know, Arthur, he could win.
Arthur's one of my favorite dudes.
I mean, our guy Spatho could win.
Spatho, yeah.
I think we got some wild cards like Chase Chappell and Logan Heath have a good chance to win if they take it all the way.
See, Arthur's got his word bears, as he calls it.
Word bears?
I played him last year
Playing
with his
CSM.
word bears. Yeah, CSM. He has a beautifully painted Chaos Army that it was word bears at the end of 9th edition, and it was dope. Fucking well executed paint job and everything, and he's a dope player, obviously. But I'd be pulling for him. I put him on my list for rooting for. Hell yeah! How about you, Rob? Anybody you want to see win, or you don't?
Nah, I'm completely indifferent.
Chat says Brad Chester is commentating with War Games Live. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Or
So he is going technically.
fuck, that's awesome. Shit, that makes me happy to hear. I'll go see that hobo. Well, shit, yeah, dude. I'm excited as fuck, dude. I'll be down there. If you come by and see me at any point, I'll be wearing... I'm bringing 3 pairs of Jinkos.
Oh my god.
Oh, you don't even understand why. So I got the shorts, too. They have
That's what happens when I can't be your chaperone at tournaments.
They have a 14-inch inseam, these shorts.
They got pockets big enough for all that hand sanitizer you're going to be using? Because you're going to wash your hands this time?
Let me send myself a note.
I need to like tattoo that on the inside of your wrist. You don't remember.
I'm currently making a note. This is actually real. Get hand sanitizer, you fucking slob. And what I do, because of my ADHD, is I make these notes and then I schedule an email to myself. And then I get an email alert. And because I've already trained myself to ignore alarms and notes on my phone. But like when an email pops up, I always look. So it's an email from past Kenny to future Kenny.
Man, what are you going to do when you start ignoring those?
I have to come up with something else.
Dude, just the mental gymnastics on all this is.
So, but hold on, Rob.
It's a fun listen.
My mom saw me with the Jinkos today, the shorts. She was like, "Those don't work, Kenny. You can't wear those." And I was like, "These are the only shorts that work, Mom." She's like, "They are so long." Like it's like
she never saw Janko shorts before.
They're like you can like 3 fingers between the like top of my shoe of skin.
Oh my God.
And like
they're so long.
Dumb. It's so dumb.
They're basically capris that are baggy.
And it's worse on me because they're not baggy, dude. They are just wide and straight, dude. They weigh 15 pounds. Like the fabric.
That Dreadnought toy weighs more.
Like these are cloth pants, dude, shorts, dude. And so she saw me. She said, but thing is, this the smallest inseam they make is 14 inches, and I only have a 30-inch inseam. So it's like half my fucking leg, dude. Is just the shorts, minimum, like off of inseam. Like it's like, bro, I got 2 pairs of those, black and denim. I got 1 pair. So for Christmas, I got an actual pair of Jinkos. And I got the shorts as a Christmas present to myself. So I've got 3 days of Jinkos. You will see me.
3 fresh pairs.
3 pairs. Fresh off.
Sorry, dude. I'll tell Matt to buy like one of those huge bottles of hand sanitizer with a pump on top. Carry it around. He won't forget.
You won't. I've got a little bottle in my backpack, but I need to get more. I need to get the ones that had the clippies on them, like I did that like last time.
Smart.
Yep.
After I got fucking almost died at LVO. Oh my God. So come up, say hi. We'll be doing the doubles on Sunday. Come by, at
shake
any
his
point.
hand.
Yep. We'll do fist bumps. Hand sanitizer and fist bumps.
Lick your hand, then shake his hand.
I promise not to fuck this one up this time. There is a shirt in my swag shop commemorating last year's LVO fucking COVID fiasco. It's in the inside jokes category of my swag shop. You will see it. It features Wyatt in the likeness of Jiminy Cricket over my shoulder in the likeness of Pinocchio. All right. Well, that's our last show until we get back from LVO.
We also, speaking of swag, don't forget to go get your Long War exclusive winter season dice from Baron of Dice. We'll have links everywhere.
Why? You want to take us out of here?
Rob?
I just did all the heavy lifting. All right.
The extra stuff. Go to longwar.net. See you later.
See, nailed it. You don't even need me anymore.
No. Want to become a veteran of the Long War today? Go to the longwar.net.
Yeah.
I think with a little practice, maybe in a mirror, you guys could really, really nail that.
Your back must be so sore from carrying this.
So sore. Like, wait till I figure out how to carry around this Dreadnought toy in the future. I'm going to be a lot sore.
Yeah, dude. You need a fucking baby Bjorn for that thing.
I really do.
All right, Rob, take us out in a professional way, and then let's do our raids.
I think you guys did just fine, but I mean, if you really, really want it. All right. So that's it for this one. Make sure to head on over to thelongwar.net for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.